What do you think would happen when a creator spends their entire career faking their content finally gets exposed? How would they respond when their lies are finally brought to light? And most importantly of all, how would their fan base feel? Well, this is the story of TheTekkitRealm, a creator that carefully crafted an empire by faking, staging, and outright lying in his content, convincing his audience that it was all true. Hi, I'm the Internet Anarchist. I create weekly YouTube documentaries, and today we'll be taking a dive into the million-subscriber YouTuber called TheTekkitRealm. In the past, I've made 2 videos on TheTekkitRealm, one that examined his fraudulent rise to popularity, outlining the shady business practices, as well as the methods he frequently uses to deceive his audience, whilst the other video presented his response to the allegations made against him, where TheTekkitRealm, also known as Dallas, would deflect all the blame onto his audience and continue to use lies to cover his tracks. On the 16th of July 2022, I published a video titled How TheTekkitRealm Fakes His Videos and Gets Away With It, where I discussed TheTekkitRealm's journey going from a stereotypical 2015 creator making how-to videos, all the way to a million-subscriber creator that stole, faked, and staged a majority of his content for views and profit. I dissected how he fabricates most of his videos using Inspect Element, faked company emails, as well as stolen gameplay footage from indie developers and smaller creators. Following these revelations, TheTekkitRealm would receive massive backlash from his audience that would force him to give a response to my video. In order to hold on to any slither of trust he still had remaining with his audience. On the 23rd of July 2022, I uploaded a follow-up video detailing his response to the criticisms. In his response, Dallas would explain his side of the story, and would claim that most of the stolen content was actually sent to him by fans asking him to post it. Likely story. One thing that is worth noting, however, is that he did show some accountability, such as with his fake live streams, which would be overshadowed by the fact that he would then deflect most of the blame back onto his audience and leave many of the debunked videos still up on his channel. A good example of this is in his video titled Rick Astley Sent Me Something Special in the Mail, a video that would contain a fake signature and address from the celebrity himself. If a creator were to be truly remorseful or regret misleading their audience, then the least they could do would be to take down any misleading videos and refrain from posting similar content in the future. And whilst Dallas did remove 14 million views worth of content, he only removed the videos that I explicitly exposed as fake, while simultaneously leaving up any videos I didn't mention that are also clearly faked. But even this will be brought up later. Prior to losing the trust and goodwill of his audience, Dallas would enjoy a rather steady growth and success on YouTube, with an average monthly subscriber growth between roughly 20 and 50,000 subscribers, and a viewership in the millions. This house of cards would come falling down in July, when I published my 2 videos exposing the truth behind his content, which goes to show how much the audience's image and trust in a creator correlates with their success on the platform. Backed into a corner and losing subscribers fast, Dallas would attempt to remedy the situation by announcing a giveaway in his video titled I've hidden $100,000, go find it. But unfortunately for him, promising your audience money doesn't automatically make them trust you again, and with comments such as plot twist, it's a scam, and I've hidden $100,000 in my bank account, but I still can't find that either. It's clear that his audience hasn't gotten over the fact that he lied to them for years, and why would they? Getting exposed for lying to your audience, and then going on to blame them for it, doesn't necessarily inspire trust. But on the other hand, maybe a change for the better would. Perhaps after all of this, Dallas would come clean of his old ways and turn a new leaf. Well, not exactly, as it appears things have got even worse. After responding to my video, Dallas would go on to remove most of the videos that were exposed as fake, whilst overlooking others that he very well knows were fake or flat out scams, keeping them up specifically because I didn't mention them in my videos. And by quickly taking a look at his social blade, you'll notice that the videos in question were reinstated after the hate died down. Maybe he thought his fans wouldn't notice, but even with the attempt to cover up his shady past, he happened to leave up videos and details that incriminate him even further. On the 16th of January 2018, Dallas would publish a video titled You will get rich off cryptocurrencies this year if you watch this video, guaranteed, where he would share his investing strategy and promote several cryptocurrencies as a means of getting rich quickly.
Guys, I have a proven technique that will overall get you more money at the end of this year.
And whilst on a surface level it seems relatively harmless, doing a bit of deeper research into the coins, you'll see that it was promoting HTML coin, Oyster, and X-Ray Bytes, all coins that were relatively new and were being heavily promoted on social media. The focus wasn't on the utility behind the coin, but on the assumption that the price would go up and that all you had to do was invest. And for anyone who is familiar in the crypto space, you would have already guessed that most of these coins had all the signs of a pump and dump scheme. A pump and dump scheme is when the price of a coin is artificially inflated by people who have large quantities of the currency, who then go on to sell it whilst the price is high, which drastically devalues the coin, leaving the initial sellers with a load of money and anyone who bought into it with nothing. And if you take a look at the timeline of most of these cryptocurrencies, you'd notice that their value increased dramatically from late 2017 to early 2018, but crashed a few months later. Faking your videos is one thing, but scamming your viewers is a complete different story. A long-running series on his channel is what's known as YouTube Unsolved, where in the videos, he covers various stories, events, and incidents that occurred on both YouTube and other corners of the internet. Something to keep in mind about these videos is the fact that Dallas presents the information as real events, and whilst a couple of these are, many are unfortunately just lies made up by Dallas. On the 8th of September 2022, a video would be published titled "The Most Dangerous House on Airbnb." Throughout the video, Dallas would share two creepypasta-style Airbnb stories. The first one is about a man who was caged by his hosts after not being able to pay for his Airbnb. And as gruesome as it sounds, this actually happened, as after some investigation, I came across several articles backing up the story. However, this is where the factual information in this video ends. The second story presented was about a married couple that survived a night in an Airbnb that was allegedly owned by a D cartel. And if you're thinking that that story was too outlandish to be true, then you'd be right. Because from what I can gather, there seems to be no mention of this incident from anywhere on the internet. No news reports, no articles, and not even any references to the event. This leads me to believe this whole story was fabricated, yet still presented as fact and next to someone's real story. And even his comment section picked up on this. There's nothing wrong with telling creepy stories for viewers, but channels that do this generally make it clear that these stories are completely fictional and don't try to mislead their audience into thinking they're true. Not to mention how disrespectful it is to actual victims by presenting their real murder stories next to a made-up fiction. In the video titled "Elon Musk Does Not Like My Channel," Dallas narrates his experience applying for a job at Twitter and supposedly receives an email from a Twitter employee that denies his application due to him being a blacklisted influencer. And upon closer inspection, you'd notice that there are several inconsistencies and discrepancies in the video. The first is the email address featured in the video, which was noreply@twitter.com. This email format is usually assigned to bots that can't respond to any inputs, hence why they're given the no reply distinction. And even if you look past the issues with the email address, another red flag is the unprofessional language and phrasing used by the employee. There are very strict rules on how employees conduct themselves, not only when communicating within their company, but also with external entities as well. Big corporations take this communication very seriously, as they can be potentially liable to anything they say wrong. So it's highly improbable that they'll tell someone to take a hike after declining their job application. All of this assuming that a company would even dedicate their time and resources to respond to a random influencer. After all, there'd be no point in continuing this conversation after his application was seemingly denied. One of TheTekkitRealm's most recent videos was titled "I Made My Own Country and How It's Going 6 months Later." And whilst most of the information presented in this video was evidently true, it seems like Dallas can't help but sprinkle in a little bit of a lie, as there's a line in the video that is an outright lie.
So in honor of the great Rick Astley, of which this island is inspired from, who also personally visited this place, I'm humbled to also say as well, we're going to be planting the flag right here.
Around halfway through the video, Dallas makes the claim that Rick Astley had tweeted about the island and visited it himself, but there's no evidence to back this up. He throws a tweet on screen that's supposedly from Rick himself, but if you try to search for it on Twitter, you won't be able to find anything from Rick Astley that is remotely related to the island. This is just another one of those instances where Dallas uses Rick Astley's brand to give his videos some legitimacy. From all the information presented, it's clear that Dallas hasn't changed since we last looked at his channel. He's still fabricating parts of his videos and is still lying to his audience. It can be said that he does sometimes create factual videos, but these are few and far between, as he constantly adds falsehoods into his videos. The repercussions of this sort of behaviour can be seen in the lack of interest surrounding his recent videos, as most of them are left unable to cross the 100,000 view threshold, a previous amount that he would easily achieve. With him also using YouTube's moderation tools to remove the word fake, clickbait, and scam from his comments, it's evident that he's taking the route of trying to shut everyone up rather than fix his own mistakes. My videos weren't the first to call him out on his acts, and it certainly looks like they won't be the last. On screen are the first 2 videos I created going more in depth on the TekkitRealm. Subscribe if you enjoyed, and I'll see you next week.